Some other things I do when I date that'll probably piss off more incels. If we have been on one date, we are not dating. If we've been on multiple dates, you are not my boyfriend or girlfriend. I'm not serious about you unless I have a conversation with you telling you that I'm serious about you. Until then, you are somebody that I am casually dating or casually hooking up with. If you can't make me finish the first time without a toy, there will never be a second time. I will be dating other people at the same time. We are not exclusive unless we have had a specific conversation about how both of us want to be exclusive. And until that happens, you are not entitled to the information of who I'm dating, how often, and when.
She thinks this list is going to anger the incels, but it really doesn't make sense as to how. She's clearly going after Chad and Tyrone, and they're probably happy that she feels this way because it's less of a pain for them. The rest of us couldn't care less.
If you are not my committed partner and you're just somebody I'm casually dating and you get mad that I don't respond quickly enough, we will never be seeing each other again. You're not allowed to sleep over. I do not do sleepovers. There are extremely few exceptions here. I also don't do cuddles after the fact. I don't really want to text you between dates. Maybe after a while, if we've been seeing each other for a little bit, I am interested in that. But for the most part, nope. Let's just organize the date, set a time and day, and I don't need to talk to you until then. If you're a man and it's our first time hooking up, I will not be going down first. Just because we've hooked up does not mean we're dating or there's any commitment involved. That would require a conversation.
It's weird how she thinks that the things she's listed are somehow power moves against men. Not a single one of those are power moves, by the way. If anything, Chad and Tyrone are celebrating that they are now getting low-effort bedroom fun and don't have to talk to her afterwards. So great move here, madam. Men are done with modern women and women are losing their minds. We've got a great video for you here today, and let's jump right into it.
Hey, I'm so sorry to do this to you again, but do you mind if I just crash out just one more time, just real fucking quick? Thank you so much. So this is a PSA for all the bum-ass bitches, especially my baby daddy's big bird looking ass fucking girlfriend. If you're going to date somebody who has a child, you're going to need to give a fuck about the child! I know, that's a crazy fucking concept, right? Absolutely fucking insane. But in fact, you're actually going to need to put that child first. All of the fucking time!
You need help.
You have to appreciate the irony of this single mother demanding the girlfriends of their baby daddies having to put their child first when she was never once going to put her own child first when it came to her dating, her desires, or her needs. But it's always different when it comes to her, of course.
Dating as a single mom is real. Because there's a difference. There's a difference between a mom that's single and a single mom. A mom that's single probably co-parents, right? She shares custody. So you most likely get like a weekend with her, right? She'll be like, oh, I'm not free till next weekend or next week because it's 1 week me and 1 week dad, whatever. A single mom is a mom that does not have the other parent. She does it on her own 24/7. Them kids are with her 24/7.
It's funny how she needs to try and distinguish herself from all of the other single mothers out there by proclaiming that she does it all on her own. But if that was the case, then she shouldn't be dating. She'd be too busy taking care of her own kid for that to be a reality.
That's my struggle. When am I going to find time to date when my kids are with me 24/7? And oh my God. And I'm not going to like sacrifice time with my kids for somebody that's not worth it, if that makes sense. Like, okay. I'm not about introducing my kids to anybody, right? So for you to come around my kids, you probably had to have put in some time. I don't introduce my kids to anybody. It is a privilege to know them and to have them in your life, and not everyone is going to have access to that. Cool.
There's a reason why men don't want to get involved with single mothers. There are very specific exceptions to that rule, and I do mean very specific, but for the most part, if she's a single mother, there is a reason, and it's not a privilege to be around her or her children when that's the case.
But what do you do when you want to date and get to know people, right? But you also don't want to sacrifice time with your kids? What do you do? What do you do? Like, all my time goes to my kids, and when I'm not with my kids, it's usually because I'm at work. How do you single moms date? How do y'all do it? Who helps y'all? Like, help, because your girl's lost. Like, at this rate, I'm going to be that crazy cat lady that's like 90 years old, alone, and with 40 cats. How am I supposed to find my husband?
She should have thought of that before getting pregnant by a man that she clearly wasn't taking seriously. She made the choice to invite the wrong man into the bedroom, and now she expects men to somehow be cool with that. It's a bad deal for men. That's why we don't date single mothers.
This is why I feel like dating as a single mom is harder than dating as a regular 24-year-old, okay? And this is why I'm going to tell you. Aside from the kids, I think that the hardest thing about dating as a single mom is that when you're dating someone, you're competing with other 24-year-olds who have not have children. They do not have stretch marks. They have perfect little tight little abs, and I'm over here with, you know, my diastasis recti in my fucking abdomen, okay? On top of that, I've lost a lot of weight, but it's not like super firm. It's like jiggly, okay? Right?
Men have been explaining this to women for years. If a man has the choice between a single, childless 24-year-old and a 24-year-old single mother, you don't need to be a rocket scientist to know which woman that man's going to choose 10 times out of 10.
And then, on top of that, after you're done breastfeeding, do you know what your titties look like? Have you seen titties after breastfeeding? Mine look like tube socks with a tennis ball. At 24 years old, dating, I'm competing with girls who have firm C cups. I have a saggy B. At best. At fucking best. Okay, guys? So, I'm competing with girls who are so fucking attractive. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. If anyone could give me any confidence boost, that would be great.
There's nothing you can say to this woman that will boost her confidence. Reality has hit her. She is a 24-year-old single mother. That means baggage, trust issues, and financial liabilities, and her looks are the least of her problems right now.
Every time I've heard a man say nobody would want to be with a single mother, it's always someone that she wouldn't want to be with either. Because I've never heard a man who could add value to her life say that. Like, we're talking about a woman who has learned to do everything for and by herself. She makes her own money and spends it how she wants. She does whatever she wants, whenever she wants. She's probably having girl dinner every night. She doesn't have anyone nagging her. Her attention goes undivided. So what value do you really think that you could add to her life anyways? Nothing? Okay then.
If a single mother spends her money the way that she wants, does whatever she wants with her time, and is eating girl dinners every night, then it clearly shows how irresponsible of a mother she truly is. It's no wonder why men don't want to deal with single mothers.
To be a mom, they take away all of the tender moments of motherhood that you could have had, but you were stuck in survival mode. So you didn't even really get to enjoy it. You're just fucking surviving, trying to raise these kids, trying to do the best you can, and you get $250 a month. What the fuck?
And what have we learned today, ladies and gentlemen? What have we learned today? Ladies, stop fucking losers. And definitely stop fucking losers without 18 types of birth control. I mean, Jesus Christ. She about to blow a gasket.
These women get with the worst men possible, according to them at least. They get knocked up and then they get shocked when the men they chose don't quote unquote step up. Then they try to act like they're the victim when they're the ones who consented to the bedroom fun. She has nobody to blame but herself here.
What do you mean you don't have a boyfriend? You're so pretty. What do you mean you have 0 men in your phone? What do you mean you've gone 8 months without... What do you mean? That makes no sense. Yeah, well, combine pretty with intelligent, strong, successful, slaying at life, you've got a very terrifying woman on your hands. A very not easy woman on your hands, right? Men don't like that. Men do not like me. Men are very, very terrified of me.
Men are most certainly not terrified of women like this. Men might be annoyed or turned off by them, but not terrified, because men know getting with a woman like this is just a massive disruption of peace, and that's something that just isn't worth sacrificing for a lot of men.
And the men who do like me, the ones that are attracted to me, are unavailable. Men who are in relationships actively. And uggo weirdos. Because at the end of the day, I am merely just a fantasy. I am not a real human because of the pretty and scary. So yes, babe, I'm alone. I'm very, 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 very single.
There is no world that exists where men would take one look at this woman and consider her a fantasy. She just tells herself that because she refuses to admit that she's combative, judgmental, and insufferable. And she refuses to believe that men don't want that in a woman.
Where are the men? What happened?
That is a really good question.
I don't know who's to blame.
I could think of a couple possible answers in regards to who's to blame, as I'm sure we all could.
Men don't want to be men anymore.
It's not that they don't want to be men anymore. It's that they've been told over and over again by society and various other groups of people that they're full of toxic masculinity, and the traditional ways in which many men behave is no longer wanted by a large number of people.
These women thought that they could get away with relentlessly hating on men for decades and still expect those very same men to stick to traditional gender roles. It doesn't actually work that way. Men are done with this game and they walked away, and these women refused to figure out why, by the way.
I feel like we're around a bunch of Peter Pan. What
So
happened
true.
to men and values and family?
What motivation do men really have to act like men when all they get in return is condemnation, criticism, and disparagement?
Taking care of their women and just being the man and the protector.
Let's not forget the large number of women out there that are constantly saying,
I don't need a man. I don't need a man for nothing.
so yeah, that's what's happened to men.
You can't spend the better part of 20 years ripping into men and then just expecting men to shrug it all off and keep doing what's expected. They should have thought of that before they chose the bear. Maybe they'll protect and provide for her since we're so dangerous and all, you know?
I know so many men who are actually good men, like genuinely good character, kind, loyal, would make solid husbands, and they're still getting rejected. And before you spiral and go, women only want toxic men, no, that's not what's happening. Women are not rejecting your character, they're rejecting your life. And I know that stings, because in your head, you're like, why can't women just choose me first? Why do I have to have everything figured out before I'm worthy of love?
It's because modern women don't want nice guys. They claim that they do, but modern women see nice guys as weak pushovers. And if she sees a guy as a weak pushover, she won't respect him. That won't stop her from using him as much as she can in the process, though.
Why can't we build together? I get that. But listen, that's not logic talking. That's wound talking. Because nobody wants to raise their partner. Building together doesn't mean I'm lost and you carry me while I figure it out. It means I'm moving, you walk beside me. Right now, a lot of good men aren't moving. You don't have a stable job. You don't really know what you're doing. You're saying you're figuring it out, but nothing's changing. You smoke too much. You avoid responsibility and call it being chill. You're nice, but you're not solid. And then you're confused why dating feels hard.
So in other words, she just assumes that the men who ask these questions are just losers who don't have high-paying jobs and who smoke too much. I mean, that's an oddly specific criticism, wouldn't you say? But anyway, guys, we are going to be leaving today's episode there. Don't forget to subscribe on your way out. Click this video that's up on the screen now if you want to see more. Take care of yourselves, and I will see you all in the next one. Peace.